What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot, Rico. It's Rico in Bot on the divisional round pregame show live on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel, where in just about a half an hour, the Buffalo Bills put it all on the line against the Baltimore Ravens for a right to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead to go to the Super Bowl. Oh, my ever-loving God, Rico, I am freaking out. Talk to me. How you feeling?
We are both equally freaking out. Listen, I have to do things today to get my mind off the game, so I'm not thinking about the game all day. But I am jacked, ready to go. I'm excited. I think the Bills understand what's at stake today. Let's get busy, man. We got to get busy. That's it. There's no more talking. All that talking is over and done with. It's done between the paint. We gotta take the punches. We gotta give the punches, but the final blow has to put them on their ass and send them packing. Boy, am I excited. By the way, shout out to everybody tuned in. Smash that like as you guys are in here. Whether you're coming from all the way from Melbourne, Australia, whether you're coming from Canada, roll call. Let us know where you're coming from. Let's get this thing going. Nervousness is an understatement. That's coming from my guy, Raider Rand. I got to ask you, you've been in Rochester. You've been with your folks all day. What have you been doing to cope?
Walking around the living room, then taking my talents to the kitchen, walking around there a little bit, taking my talents to the bathroom. I've had to have peed 15 times in the last hour. I mean, I'm freaking out. I have done a good job all week, I felt like, of containing my emotions, not letting it get the best of me. It's been more excitement than anything this week. But Rico, right around the halftime mark of this Rams-Eagles game, where it started to feel like the game was coming closer and closer here, I've been tweaking. I mean, there's something about not only the magnitude of the game in terms of the matchup, but of course, putting it all on the line. Either you win and you move on for a chance at the title, or you lose and the season's over. I'll just never get over what that does to you as a fan. But we've earned the right to be here. We have earned the right to be confident. And this is the beauty of having your team that you root for be as good as the Buffalo Bills. You get to be nervous. You get the right to feel these nerves going into this type of game. So I'm freaking out. I'm tweaking. Cannot wait for this one to start. And I think by then I'll settle in a bit. But it feels like it's going to be one of those games, Rico, where I'm just going to be doing a lot of walking around while I'm watching. How about you?
A lot of walking around, but it's going to be a lot of like, okay, fellas, this is it. It's win or go home. And you've seen the upsets. The Detroit Lions were supposed to go in and handle business, right? You got Coach Campbell talking to Coach O'Connell. See you in a couple weeks. And guess what? They're both sitting at home tonight, right now. So, like I said, all the talking is done. All the analysts getting in and out. Nobody knows how this game's going to play out. It's so 50-50 down the line that it's insane. It's absolutely crazy. But there's going to be key factors to how we can win this game. There's going to be things that we must avoid, and it's all got to play out today. But it's all players today. It's players, man. Have some pride and handle business, man. Golly, I'm excited.
I'm so pumped up. I mean, I'm just through the roof right now. We had some crazy football yesterday. It looked like we were going to have another somewhat blowout here between the Eagles and the Rams, but don't blink yet, because the Eagles, who took a 2-touchdown lead, missed the extra point. The Rams go all the way down the field, score a touchdown, and now in the snow, the Eagles are facing a 3rd and 19 with 2.5 left. So it's been kind of crazy all weekend, Rico, and I do not expect this game to be anything less than that. I guarantee you this game comes down to the wire. I just can't foresee it being any other way. So I'm already nervous. It just feels like one of those games, man, where your blood pressure, your heart rate is going to be at an all-time high. I just hope this time around, Rico, that pays off in dividends at the end, where we can take that energy, we can take that nervousness and turn it into excitement for next week. Man, that's all I'm hoping for. I'm hoping we're dancing about 4 or 5 hours from now, Rico. That's all I want.
I was telling so I had my daughter's soccer game today. They have soccer on Saturdays and Sundays, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do Jersey guy at the soccer game,
Right.
and I refused to do it. I was like, you know what, I got to check myself, can't do it. But I had the hoodie on and everything, and I had folks come in, y'all must be nervous. I was like, hell yeah, I'm nervous. Listen, if it doesn't go the way I see it going, I'm going to have a miserable week. Not just a day, a miserable week.
Oh, yeah.
I feel there's too much football left for the Bills. I still feel there's enough pod in me to keep rolling. And it feels like that's the way it's supposed to be. The Washington Commanders move on, right? You got the Chiefs that found a way to move on. We got to find our way to move on to the next week. But I now bring it back to the nuts and bolts, right, of this game. And I go to you for this one. What's it going to take? Where does it start? What do we avoid? What's the strong point? What is it that you're looking at that you feel really good about?
It's going to take a remarkable performance. It's going to take a 60-minute performance of complimentary football. We're going to need one of Allen's best games of his career, I think. We're going to need perhaps the best defensive performance the Bills have had all year, and we're going to have them do that for 60 minutes of football. I'm wondering what this game's going to look like going into halftime. I keep looking at this game and understanding that the Bills are the best second half team in the league. So what I think this game comes down to is, can the Bills not allow themselves to get in a hole like they did the last time these two played? They got down far too much, far too early, and it really threw off the game. I feel good if the Bills can go into half, even if they're trailing. If they're trailing by a score or less, I'm liking where the Bills are at because of their ability to just completely overcome any obstacle in the second half. From the coaching perspective, from Allen's perspective, they've been terrific. So I think the big key here early in the football game is do not get in a hole. There's part of me that wonders, once again, back to the conversation we were having last week about the Denver game, do you want to start with the ball in this one? I think there's a lot of value in having the lead early on these Ravens, because we know if the Ravens have the lead, that is conducive to them being able to run the game plan that they're hoping to execute. I'd love to see the Bills be the team that puts up the first score in this game and then put the ball in the Ravens' court and see how they deal with it, because the last time around it was the opposite, and we saw how that went. As I've been mentioning all week, I don't think you shut down Lamar. I don't think you shut down Henry. I'm watching this Rams and Eagles game, and the Eagles had roughly 180 yards at half, but it was a 13-10 game. The biggest issue for the Rams here is they were not able to convert offensively when given the chance. They fumbled the ball multiple times in this game, and they weren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that they had. Instead of that, they wound up pissing them away and turning the ball over. Why I bring that up is because I think you're going to get ran on today. I think Henry's going to run. I think Lamar's going to run. But can the Bills' offense take advantage of the opportunities given to them? Because last game that these guys played, the Bills went 3 and out far too many times. They had that trick play, of course. Yep. They were not capitalizing offensively. I feel like in this game, even if Saquon ran for 200, which he's basically at right now, the Rams are still in it. And I think that that's what the Bills' advantage is here. Their offense is so good that even if they are getting ran on, I still think it comes down to 17 in this offense. If they are able to have a day that we know they're capable of, I like the Bills' chances.
I absolutely like the Bills' chances. And I was actually thinking about what you just said, what you alluded to, and starting with the football. Who do you want to start with the football? And I thought about it. Do you give Lamar Jackson and the Ravens the opportunity to dictate what takes place in this game? And I absolutely do not want that to happen. If we have the opportunity to get the football first, smack him in the mouth right off the jump, and now let's see how they respond, right? You got to respond to us in Buffalo at home. We need to bring the fight to them instead of them bringing the fight to us. And I find that we tend to allow teams to bring the fight to us, and then we have to counter and change things around in the second half so we can get things going. I want to be the one to set the tone. Set the tone right off the rip, and away we go. And how we're setting the tone is by looking at who's active and who's inactive. I don't know if you had a chance to have a look here, but inactive, Kyu Elam, Mike White, Brandon Codrington. That was a surprise. I thought he would have been ready to go by now. So we are not. We are going to be without our kick return punt returner. Cedric Van Pan Granger out. Ryan Vandermark out. Jalen Virgil out. Dwayne Carter out. Who's in? Ray Davis. Ray Davis was concussed last week, and he returns to the lineup. So we're going to have a full complement in the backfield, which I think is an absolute key to having this game, because you're going to need the guys to get the tough yardage, right? The Ray Davises of the world, your James Cooks, your Ty Johnsons, you're going to have that. Obviously, you got 6'5", 235. In Josh Allen's going to be obviously heading the way and leading the way with this team, but you need everybody there. Everything is in place. Defensive tackles, everyone's ready, healthy. Take the fight to them. You got to take the fight to them. Now let's another thing. Let's talk about this, man, because we're limited on time, but we got to try to get in as much as possible in this. What are the Vegas lines? Have they changed? Have we seen anything? Is it still 1.5? I've seen it move up and down. I wasn't sure. You're my Vegas guy, so
yeah, I haven't. I mean, dude, I've been so nervous. I haven't even looked. That's where I'm at. But let me take a
look now. As you take a look now, I want to jump in and touch on a few things that will be key to the game today. So number one, it's got to come down to execution. We talked about this. I think the biggest one is our third down execution. We did not execute on third downs the first time we met with this team. We just were poor. We were poor at it. Josh was uncomfortable behind the line. We just couldn't make it happen. By the way, something must have happened in the Eagles game. Somebody said, "What a catch." I don't know by who.
The Rams are now on the Eagles 20. They were back on their own 20. Now they're on the 20. They were just down 2 touchdowns a blink of an eye ago. And, I mean, this is crazy. They score. They'll take the lead because of 2 missed extra points by the Eagles that will wind up being the difference. They looked like, 20 minutes ago, they looked like they weren't even going to be able to get a first down in this weather. And now all of a sudden they can't be stopped.
Welcome to football.
I know. I mean, playoff football.
Freaking Nakua, man. Guy's clutch. He's absolutely clutch. Gotta love it. I can't
even see how much time's left in the game because the weather here is so bad that there's a winter weather advisory going down the bottom of the TV that's covering the entire score bug. So I don't even know how much time's left. I feel like I'm watching this game in the 1980s right now.
It is what it is, but Puka's a beast. But games like this go to tell you, like they were expecting Saquon to rip it and do it, and he did. But yet, look at the score. So if Derrick Henry's going to be doing what he needs to do, it's fine, as long as we understand what's at stake here. Make the crucial stops that you got to make. But on the other side, offensively, you got to execute. One has to help the other. Offense, do your part. Defense, do your part. Special teams, we know what happens. So speaking of special teams, not having Codrington is interesting. So that tells me Shakir's back there again. And quite honestly, I like Shakir being back there because he gives us a dynamic that not that Codrington can't do it, but we saw a bit of a spark from our guy, Khalil Shakir, and the guy just doesn't go down. So love to see that in that regards. But third downs are going to be so huge in this game. We've got to make the stops, but most importantly, we've got to execute on the offensive side of the ball. You got to score. And if you're failing and you're not converting on your third downs, this is where you fall into trouble. So offense, execution is key.
Oh, Stafford just got rocked, Rico, on third down. Stafford just got obliterated, and now it comes down to fourth down, Rico.
Here we go. Fourth down. Well, fourth down and what?
Fourth down and I think at least 10 or 11. Clock's ticking. 4th and 11, 55 seconds and counting.
Oh, he took the sack. It was an 8-yard sack.
Here comes the quick play-by-play. Here we go.
Give it to us.
28-22. The Rams looking to come back from a 13-point deficit. They were dead in the water 20 minutes ago. It's 4th and 11. Ball at the 22-yard line of the Eagles. Stafford in the gun. He takes the snap. He surveys, looks down the field. He fires, incomplete. And the Philadelphia Eagles set up the NFC East showdown in the NFC Championship, taking on the rookie Jaden Daniels next week. Wow, what a game, Rico. If the Bills game's anything like this, we're in for a treat.
We are absolutely in for a treat. Man, what a wild card weekend. What a divisional round weekend. These games have been something. So, and it falls on the Bills to complete what has been a fairly amazing divisional round, and we've got things to handle. So, third downs is what I stand on. Defensively, is there something that you're looking forward to seeing that these boys can really just hone in and just focus on this and execute.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching the linebacker play, Rico. The whole thing we talked about in the offseason was how different would this game have been last year against the Kansas City Chiefs if the Bills had even one healthy linebacker, much less two. They are fully healthy this year. And we've been talking all week long, ever since we knew this was going to be the matchup, that we have felt that there was a big difference between now and week 4. And that, of course, is Teron Johnson, Terrell Bernard, and Matt Milano being in this game. I'm looking at these linebackers to step up. All week long, Rico, we've been saying, we didn't have him then, we have him now. We think it's going to be a difference. Will it be a difference? So I'm looking at that. Can Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard help out at the line of scrimmage? Can they limit Derrick Henry busting one off? Because that's ultimately what set the tone last game. And not to keep referencing this Eagles game, but in reality here, if the Rams had just contained Barkley on 2 runs, they might have won the football game. He had 2 touchdown runs, Rico. Well, even if you include Jalen Hurts, they had 3 touchdown runs of 40-plus yards, and they ended up losing by 6. So can the Bills not allow Henry to have that major game-changing play? You're going to let him run. He's going to be able to run. He's going to have his chunk yard plays. He's going to have a 10-yard run here, maybe a 15-yard run. But can you eliminate the 50-yard run, the massive touchdown? I really think that's what the game's going to come down to. And I think Rams fans would tell you the same. The Eagles scored 3 touchdowns in this game off of 40-yard gash runs, and they ended up losing by 6. You cannot allow Lamar and Derrick Henry to score on game-breaking plays. You can allow them to run the football. You can allow them to move the sticks, but can you step up when it matters most? That really is going to be a major difference to me, and that's what I'm looking for on the defensive side of things.
Love it. I love how you said that, and I'm going to stick on the defense side of the ball and talk about pressure. Pressure, bust pipes. And that's what it's come down to. That's what it's going to come down to. We cannot allow Lamar Jackson to dictate. Lamar Jackson to have 3-4 seconds. And I understand he's a bit of an anomaly. He's not like your typical quarterback where you think you got him and it's not. He's like Josh. Josh has got what Dan Orlovsky calls pocket peace. So does Lamar. Lamar does not freak out in the pocket. So we are going to have to come down and be precise, mind our gaps, like I said before, but it's pressure. We've got to make him uncomfortable. We did not make Lamar Jackson uncomfortable. Hence, the 14 for 18 or 19 that he threw for in that game. Obviously, he got a lot of help from our Derrick Henry, but we've got to put pressure on this line, because if we bottle and slow down Derrick Henry the way I think we will, it's going to land on the arm of Lamar. Lamar's going to have to do it, but we've got to get defensive line play coming from our guys. Ed Oliver, Dwayne Smoot, Greg Rousseau, Von Miller especially. He's been one of the leading guys in getting pressure after the quarterback on the win rate. He's got to get after. We got to get home. We got to get home. It's not like Lamar can't be sacked. He has been and will be sacked. We just got to make sure that we bring the pressure. The pressure has to come in, but the back end has to be taken care of too. Because if you want the pressure to get in, you can't allow Isaiah Likely to be wide the F open. Right. Now, what's going to play a big part is we've got guys that know where they're supposed to be. We have guys that are instinctual. Matt Milano, welcome back, right? Bernard, welcome back to this game. You didn't play the first time, so we need all hands on deck. Lastly, Derrick Henry. Derrick freaking Henry. We've got to bottle him up. We've got to bottle him up. If someone's going to beat us, it's got to be Lamar in the air against a very good team that takes the football away. We led the league. Actually, we were number 3 in taking the football away from our opposition. 32 turnovers, folks. We took the ball away 16 times on fumble recoveries and 16 on interceptions. Get the ball in the air. We have an opportunity. But we got to get the pressure. Pressure, buzz, pipes. We got to get there, man. Too excited. Too excited. I saw you shaking your head a little bit.
Because I feel like I'm about to suit up and go out there and play right now, Rico. That's what the type of nerves I got right now. I mean, I'm tweaking. I feel like I'm ready to put the pads on and walk the hell out there. I'm so ready to rock. We're 15 minutes away from kick. I cannot wait. Let's get to some super chats. Saw a couple of them coming in here, and I know one person who's just as excited as we are, probably more. Richie Fresh. He's saying we lit already, baby. Okay, he's ready to get after it. Shot time with Rico coming up here, with Pierre here in 15 minutes. I know Richie's fired up. Mitch, the lead Robster. He's coming in. Last night, Rico, I had mentioned on my show that I was doing to recap the Saturday games. We had missed one of the lead Robster super chats.
No, we did.
I swear, I was driving from Connecticut to Rochester. And you know how you're just, when you're by yourself with your thoughts, you get random thoughts, and it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. I saw Mitch
Oh,
send in a super chat about Ohio State because that always stands out to me reading about those damn Buckeyes. And I remember not reading it because I didn't talk about Ohio State. So then it hit me, and I said at the show, I was very sorry that we missed it. So that's why the lead roster's coming in and saying, you did miss a super chat from me, but it's all right because the Buffalo Fanatics is the best channel on YouTube, baby. Hit it, Rico. And then last night, by the way, speaking of last night, we were having a conversation about potentially putting some mods in the chat, Rico, because it gets a little feisty in there. And 445 Block is saying, Bot, tell Rico to mod me up. I've been loyal to the squad. And I told 445 Block last night, I said, I got to talk to the fellas because personally, as techie of a guy as I am, and you know I am, Rico, I don't know how the hell to implement a mod on this thing. So I told him we'll have to look into it.
444 Block, we've been talking. I know you have been. They've changed up the system of how we can mod. I used to be able to mod from a certain perspective on my spot, but I got to go into this, that, and the third and get it. But don't worry, I have you on my list, and I'm looking for at least 2 to 3 more other mods. Why? Because, the chat can get a little nasty some days. I get it. We're passionate. Some other fan bases come in and start talking and whatever. But when it gets out of hand, that's when we need our mods to jump in and say, hey, got him out there, right? So my man, 444 Block, I got you. And then we'll get a few others to jump in and help out. But we appreciate you. 45, I see you, kid.
Big time. All right, Rico. So we got Pierre coming on at 6:25 sharp. So we got 8 minutes left here. Right. Talk to me. I mean, it's put up or shut up time. Where are you at? What's the feel of the game? I want you to tell me 2 things. What's your score prediction at halftime? What's your score prediction at the end of the game? I feel like this could be a tale of 2 halves type game.
All right. I'm actually confident in this team, in how this game's going to play out. And I feel good. I feel good because I know they know what's at stake. So I look at this. The question is this going to be a high scoring game? Well, I don't know what the line was. I don't know if it was over 50 or under 50. I assume under 50 because of the weather and all that good stuff. But I say it's going to be in the lines of 13-7, 14-7, first half Bills. And then
so you think Baltimore's got 7 on the board at half? That's it.
I think it's going to be one of those defensive matchups where it's back and forth, right? Okay. Back and forth. Everybody's throwing haymakers. We're ducking and jiving. We're slipping punches. I mean, one might slip, and I think that's where we get in. I think a lot of the fans are going to be a big factor in this. I think we jump off to a great start. 13-7, maybe 17-10. I think it's going to be 7 points within 7 points. What say you?
I got the Ravens up at half 10-7.
Okay.
I think it's going to be an extremely close, low-scoring game. Both these guys are going to be running the football, and I just don't know how conducive that is to scoring a ton of points in this game. I got the Ravens up at half 10-7, but McDermott gets these boys right at half. He's already liking what he's seeing. He's going to implement a couple more things to take him over the top. JA-17, he's locking in. You got to remember these Bills went into the half against the Broncos up 10-7. They won that game 31-7. I think these Bills come out of the second half. They're ready to roll. Man, Rico, I got to tell you, I bias aside, I have no idea here. I genuinely don't know. I have been so torn down the middle in this, but man, no one's picking Buffalo, and I'll be damned if I'm not the one that picks Buffalo. I got to be on my Bills side on this one. They have given us every reason all year long to believe that they're capable of doing this. This has been probably the best offense I've seen this Bills team have in my entire lifetime. This is the best quarterback play I've seen this Bills team have in my entire lifetime. I mean, really, they have been on a historical pace all year long. They're at home where they haven't lost all year long. If everybody is doubting my Bills today, why would I doubt them? I got to be on the other side. The Bills come out at half. They edge out Baltimore. The Bills win this football game 23-20 in a nail biter at the end.
It's so funny that you say that because my cousin texted me earlier today and says, hey, score prediction. Didn't say anything else, just score prediction. I said 31-30 Bills.
Wow.
31-30 Bills. I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. And here's what it's going to come down to. Players aside, skill set aside, we lost the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to come into this saying, hey, now we have a full complement of players. I'm not nursing a broken hand 2 weeks in.
Right.
I mean, I'm at my full confidence. I've seen what took place. I saw what the Eagles just had to endure. I just saw what the Commanders just did. I saw Detroit get taken down. Bro, I'm not trying to be on that list.
Hell no.
Let's get it cracking. Let's go, man. Hit him in the mouth the first time, and let's go. And Derrick Henry's the key to the success of these Ravens. Call it what you want. They've had some good backs in the past. We've been able to deal with Derrick Henry before. Make him run lateral. Make him a lateral runner. I feel like I'm Trump right here. Make him a lateral runner and take his ass down. It's that simple. And now put these boys in 3rd and 7, 2nd and 9, right? Now we're going to see what these boys are made of.
Go ahead, hit that bell for yourself right now, Rico.
I've been on this energy all week. I felt like this in the Detroit game when I was unsure, but I was like, you know what? That, man. I see what Detroit's about. We're going to bring the pain to Detroit. And right now, I just feel this is Buffalo's time. It is Buffalo's time. We just got to execute. That's what it comes down to. I'm so here for it. I'm jacked up for it. Am I nervous? Hell yeah. But I'm
telling you, Rico, if the broadcast is 3.5 hours long, the over-under on the amount of time I spend sitting down is 15 minutes. I don't think I'm going to be able to sit much at all. I mean, that's where I'm at. I can barely sit still right now. I'm tweaking.
The room that you're in now, is this where you guys watch the game, or do you go up to watch it?
No, I go downstairs so that I can be somewhat discreet when we're doing this, even though I'm shouting and freaking out right now. I'll be upstairs, tapped in, locked in. We're ready to rock. My dad's freaking out. I mean, my dad's been cleaning every edge of the house today, trying to keep himself distracted. He's tweaking. The only one that's calm and collected right now in the house is Mama Bell.
Mama D.
She's dialed in. Yeah. So she's ready to rock. We're ready to rock too, but you know how it is. I mean, it's just, it is nerve central in here. I hope I settle in a little bit when it kicks off, which happens to be in 8 minutes, Rico.
And here's the thing. I also heard that the game, although it's supposed to start at 6:30, it's starting at 6:40. What reason for it? This is coming from the Bills PR. I'm not sure what's going on. Do we have a little time to kick it? But I don't know. But here's the thing. I want bold predictions, hot predictions. I want hot takes, bold predictions in the chat. Y'all know what to do, and give us your score predictions. Hashtag, you guys let me know what time it is. Bring it into the chat. 31-30 for me. Bot said 24-23.
23-20 Bills.
23-20. 23-20 Bills. And I love that score, by the way. Who's your unsung hero? Who's the hero that steps up and was the difference maker in this game for you? Offense or defense, special teams, whatever you call it. Maybe it might even be coach, because coach made a great decision. What are you thinking on?
Mac Hollins.
Mac Hollins.
I think Mac Hollins is going to make a staple play in this game. He has been the epitome of the culture of the Buffalo Bills all year long. The guy makes a play every opportunity he's given. And even when you don't think he's making a play, he's out there laying a block to let somebody else make the play. I think Mac Hollins makes a crucial play in a crucial moment, whether that's a block or a big catch. An unsung hero, that's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he's been all year long. And in a game like this, where you need guys like that to be difference makers, I could see him being that for the Bills this evening, Rico. How about you?
Oh, I love that you said that. Well, what is going to matter for me is what we do offensively. If we don't get started offensively, all this is a moot point. It makes no sense. This is where James Cook comes in. James Cook comes in. He didn't have a great showing the first time. I think that we're going to be a lot more balanced this game. So when he sees, and that nothing gets to somebody like when your counterpart, the running back on the other squad, is just ripping it and doing what they do to do, or they had 1,900 yards and you had 16 touchdowns on 125 less carries. I'm about to show you that I'm in the same field as you. Let's roll. James Cook has a game leading type of performance where he's a leader in this. Josh is going to facilitate. Josh is going to do what he does, but it starts with James Cook. James Cook gets his great yardage. Unsung hero. It starts with the RBs, and James Cook, I love what he's been doing thus far. Let's keep it up. Let's not silence him. Get him going. Love to see that happen, but I love the Mac Hollins pick. Oh, I'm excited.
I love all of it, Rico. And with that said, we are about to approach the 6:25 mark. Our main man, Pierre, is ready to get on here and knock back some shots. We got to hop off and allow him to do so, but don't you worry. We will be back with you post-game, and my God, Rico and I both hope to the highest extent that we are getting jiggy with you in about 3.5, 4 hours from now, but we will find out. As I'm watching my screen right now, and long-haired, flowing hair Allen is dialed in, ready to go. We hope you are too. We cannot wait to talk about it with you afterwards. But for now, it's time to go get it done. Rico, any last thoughts?
Listen, all I got to ask for you guys is to smash that like, do everything you can to get the good jitters going in the household, and join us afterwards. Because I
win
feel
or
like
lose, win or lose, it's going to be big, right? Win or lose,
join us afterwards. Let's do it. I gotta jump on my Bleacher Report, and then once we in it, and it kills my vibe. It kills my vibe. But I got obligations. But we're gonna get this thing cracking, boys. Bills gotta win it. You gotta win it. You gotta win it, man.
Hit that bell one more time. Give everybody the good juju.
Yeah, we gotta win it.
The bell's been hit.
Let's go.
Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button on your way out, and let's go get it done. We will talk to all 1,200 plus of you beautiful people after the game. But for right now, dial in. Enjoy it. Much love, as always. And go Bills.
Go Bills, baby.